So, welcome to this short interview with Prudence, who is a founding member of the Youth Community Practice on Just Transition Futures. We're going to have a quick chat today. She's going to explain and share the problem she's in love with, the signals she's already been creating as a woman entrepreneur from South Africa, based in Zambia, and tell us how they're shaping the future. So, Prudence, my first question to you is what's the problem or unmet need that you've been in love with solving, that you are in love with solving? So, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Okay. So my name is Prudence Mohlamonyane. I'm from a non-profit organization called LM Foundation. We are about enhancing inclusive sustainability. So the problem or unmet need that I'm in love with solving is in South Africa. South Africa is the only country in the African continent that has been giving free tertiary education and skills development for all persons, including persons with disability, for the past 30 years. So now, but then we still face a huge problem of unemployment, and 46% of that unemployment rate is of qualified or graduates who are youth. So that's the problem that I'm in love with solving, the unemployment rate of graduates.
Fantastic. And what is it that you're already doing as a woman entrepreneur? I know you've been very busy for some time now. What are you already doing that's contributing to solving that problem and unmet need?
Okay. Before I found out that the work that I'm doing falls under just transition, I started solving the problem by opening a jewelry manufacturing company, because that's when I saw that there's a lot of graduates who are skilled with jewelry manufacturing that are unemployed. So I started doing that to accommodate them. And then I started seeing that the problem is not only in the jewelry manufacturing industry, but it's all industries. And then I implemented our foundation, our nonprofit company, LM Foundation, where we take care of people, children who are preparing for high school into tertiary, and children that are, or individuals that are graduates but unemployed in their sectors, and into businesses that are willing or that are looking to penetrate their industries successfully and sustainably. So with that, we've been going around, because now when I realized that the work that I'm doing falls under just transition, I did a few courses on sustainability. And then that's when I found out the ways of helping them. And I found out that in South Africa or in Africa, we need to just start with access to information about just transition and sustainability. And that's when people will then themselves find the links between the bridges and the gap between education, business education, and employment. So what we do is we help people for free, organizations, whether you're in the crafts industry, we help you with access to information as to what is sustainability, how do you transition successfully into just transition, how does sustainability affect you, and how can you leverage sustainability and just transition for your career and your personal success. So we work with a lot of nonprofits and individuals. Yeah, so that's what we do.
So it's this real pathway of connecting with young people who are building their qualifications, are passionate about education, and particularly helping them in the jewelry industry across that whole pathway from creation to selling. And it's a really special one because it is a sector that is fraught with, in relation to extraction and artisanal crafts. There's a real need for focus on sustainability and just transition to protect people working in it. And so you've been really busy, and this matchmaking with both youth and NGOs and skill building. And so how do you feel that these signals of change are really shaping what could look like a just transition future? What is special for South Africa and Africa, which is so important here?
It's the amount of people that we have skills, and it's all persons, young and old, that have skills, valuable skills, and we are also rich in physical. We have our physical minerals, which is your platinum and gold, and amongst others. So with those two, you have qualified persons, you have minerals. With that, you have innovators. There's people who are. We have innovation hubs this side. So people who safe spaces where people can go and innovate their tech and green tech and stuff. But then now, how do you link the SMME with the innovator so that the product can be of global value and standard and sellable globally? You know, how do these people attract global clients or the global market? Because the global market leads with sustainability and just transition. So if you manufacture a product here, it doesn't matter how good or beautiful the product is or useful, but if it does not speak the language of sustainability or just transition, then you won't attract foreign clients or global clients for your product.
Yeah.
So it's just getting the work that you do, you get people on par with the how the whole world operates with just transition.
Yeah.
So you qualified persons. It's literally linking people, because then you take, let's say you get a mechanical engineer qualified persons through education beneficiary, and then you take someone who has an SME who has a business in the engineering field who wants to venture or to transition into just transition sustainability. So now then my job is to tell them that, okay, so now if you want to do this, you can just simply look for, you can take this person from around your area, they are qualified. Take them into your business. That builds more credibility and points for you as a business when you issue out resumes for the business for funding and staff and partnerships and collaboration. So you take this person, you're creating a job for them, you're empowering the community because now there's more economic participation from their household, and you're also doing good for your business. You're implementing ESG, you're implementing such, so it's so like you kind of, our job is mainly teaching people how to coexist successfully to the livelihoods of them personally and their careers and businesses.
Yeah, amazing.
You show them that if you take the next person next to you and combine it with what you have, the whole community can benefit.
Yeah.
That's
it's a really interesting, innovative model because it breaks down silos. So it's very much around that skill transference, and one of the key aspects of innovation and innovation for just transition futures is that ability to bring unusual suspects together to work beyond the initial scope. So let's say you wake up in 10 years time, it's 2035. What, based on these signals of change that you've created today, what does that day look like? It's a just transition future. It's you've made transformational change with these signals. What does it look like? How would that day go for you and for somebody that you've helped?
So that day would go something like, we'd see maybe a press or a press release saying that, announcing that since we started 10 years ago, we've now did so much work in just transition, and we now have like hubs in every province, or like maybe like two sustainability hubs, because that's the main goal for us, to open sustainability hubs around Africa where people can just go have a safe space where they can just go and inquire about. So let's say, for an example, a parent that has a grade 6-year-old that's supposed to go to high school, if that kid says they want to do content creating or animation, so I as a parent don't know that. Our parents don't know those things. They be like, you need to be an engineer, So I take the kid there, and they find my team. My team would advise them and would help the parent and the kid get exposed to the industry. Take them to an animation company. It's someone who is in the qualified in the animation industry and working for a successful company. Take them to someone that owns an animation company, fresh out of graduate. Take them to someone that co-owns an animation company to show them that you can, like, there's options and you can do this with it. So when you take them to an animation company, you take them to get to see all the relevant departments there, just for them to see where they fit in exactly, because we're trying to minimize the 10 to 15 years it takes for one person to find themselves within the industry after graduating or either getting into business. Oh, I'm really not supposed to be the face. It's not good for me to be the face of the business. Or I don't have to be in this department. Actually, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Or actually, so it takes a lot of time in our country for people to find themselves. And that's why we start with unemployed graduates.
Yeah.
So the just transition future would be we have sustainability hubs throughout Africa, because Africa is revitalizing and transforming and transitioning. So those sustainability hubs would be a safe space for Africans to go and find out what is so special about us as Africa, what makes us special, what can we do as Africans to leverage as much as we can from that being special, because we see the whole world is showing us that we are special. So how can we leverage according to the whole world's language?
Yeah.
Because now this transition and sustainability has its own language. So if you are unaware of the terms used, you'll end up saying your product or your business is sustainable and it's not, just because that's the entry level terms. That's what we're really realizing actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And what I love so much about what you are envisioning and also envisioning in the future and creating in the present, and you've really pulled that thread between the two things, between the two times, as it were, is that real understanding of the underlying trends, which are that the need for what we call green talent, the need for not just to address an unemployment issue, but to address it with elements, with skill building that actually
what we already have. We're using what we already have.
Yeah. What you already have, but also with this look into the future is green, in fact. So let's anticipate how to create that. And also that really special thing, which is bridging that gap for families, because in an entrepreneurship journey or in a career journey, it is your family who is the first supporters. And if they don't get it, you don't get to go.
Let me give you an example of that. A really practical example of actually why I even started doing this work. So I'm a goldsmith and diamond tech, apart from the sustainability work. So when I did my goldsmithing, I did my jewelry manufacturing training under the South African Free Education and Skills Development System through a learnership program. That's when I experienced all these people, all persons and stuff. But then so I knew that for me to be a complete jeweler, I needed to go to diamond school after. So my parents always knew that I had to go to diamond school after jewelry manufacturing. But then, as soon as I decided, so I got a job before I went to diamond school, and I was still doing my artisan training to become a goldsmith. So I got a job at this NWJ, this jewelry manufacturers. And when I got a job there, someone gave me a tip that, but then you can't work for what? Because you're young. Why don't you start your own? Because if you work for a jewelry manufacturing company, you can't work for your own. You need to spend 5 years apart from the industry and stuff like that. And then when I decided to do that, my parents flipped. They were like, you said you wanted to go to school to find a great job. Now you're telling us about business. Da, da, da. Who do you know that has a company? You have a company. Do you know people who have companies? So it's those things that as time went by. So I've always told myself that I will work. So I underwent a journey of finding my purpose and stuff. And then I saw that, you know what, let me just use my career to live my purpose, to be of service to people who are willing. So I'm going to create a safe space for all the artists that don't have a safe space, because I am not shy to talk about it, that I have challenges because I have also leave home, start living somewhere, because now that is where I could get freedom to do my things and not be stressed out and stuff, because you do know the entrepreneurial chain, how it is. So that's what I was like, let me just create this safe space. So there's this other building in Johannesburg. It's actually a heritage site. So it has a lot of history since from World War One and World War Two, and now it's just on its own. So I gathered my team to work from there. We have housing people there. The other organization that is within my team. So I divided us to form two organizations because I understand inclusivity and partnership for the goals, for us to win that building or to get permission for that building. So they focus on zero hunger. And then I focus on the exposure, wellness exposure, and coaching on the career side of things. So we've been using that building for 5 years now. We just recently started negotiations or communications with the South African Heritage and Resource Agency, which is the one responsible for that building, so that they can give us that building. Last month, I went to Cape Town to their head office. So now I really need to sort out that thing now with the G20 coming, that you get permission to really create a safe space for people. So yeah, apart from that, we work with different organizations and different people. They know that they have a safe. There's nothing that I don't understand when you have challenges in terms of your career. So that's what I'm saying. Even creating with this foundation, creating a safe space for them, for those ones that are also confused about the just transition and sustainability. We know how confusing that can be, because you can just lose clients, like, because you don't using any eco things, or you're not using degradable packaging or whatever. Your language is not, so you can lose clients real quick. So we just want to be that safe space. That's what we are doing.
Yeah.
One of our beneficiaries is hosting an event on women. So on the 9th of August in South Africa is Women's Day. So he was like, so his nonprofit wants to specialize in events. So I was like, no, you must do sustainable events. So with this one, we're going to invite maybe about 10 women. I brought in a stakeholder that owns a restaurant. I told this guy that we're going to be 3 stakeholders within this thing. We're going to invite 10 women. Those 10 women, let's say in time you charge them 300 South African rands, per ticket. That ticket, you also identify on the side. You must identify a home that takes care or services persons with disabilities. Find that home. Find out how many people are there that we can serve or make lunch on that day. When you want to help people, you don't go there and cook their own food. You come with your own food and cook lunch for these people. That's impact. So you must invite people for your Women's Day event. Not invite people to come and have alcohol. Invite them, charge them this ticket, take half or 70% or 60% of that money from the ticket, buy groceries. Let them, it's like you're leading people to do good for the community. You take their money, you buy groceries, they go cook for these disabled persons, you spend a nice day there. After that, we go to that lady's restaurant. Then they can also get a free plate and 1 alcoholic beverage. That's it. Brilliant. Not like you just, yes, because that guy was saying to me, no, we must just bring people to exhibit. I'm empowering people. I'm like, if you don't have committed buyers for your exhibitors, you are not empowering them. Don't even bother people, because you're going to stress them. It costs money to get them there, and only for people to tell them that their product is beautiful. Don't do it. Rather, call these people to come and have alcohol, but with that ticket money, tell them that they are going to do good for the community. You'll see, people will support it. And it's 2 birds with 1 stone. Brilliant. So that's kind of an example of what we literally do to help these people. I come up with sustainable solutions for them.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love it. There's this real embedded sense of community in your and community creation and holistic, systemic problem solving. So thank you, Prudence. Going to wrap up there. It is winter where you are and summer where I am. So we've got a big, about 30-degree temperature difference.
And in the morning, I was on 1 degree. It's so cool.
So cool. So I thank you, and we are looking forward to speaking again soon.
Yeah. Okay then.